Here we're inside where we've taken the fleece off the animal, and we're going to throw it on the table here, and we're going to analyze every piece of the fleece to help you and give you some skirting tips. These tips are what we'd like you to do for your entries for your AFCNA co-op fleece. Keep in mind, skirting is always going to be the word uniformity that I'd like to ask you to keep in mind, rather, is uniformity. All of these tips that we're going to go through are basically getting the fleece to the most uniform possibility and representation of what you have to work with. Each fleece obviously is very different in its properties, but we're just trying to help in the processing overall, as if we can get a uniform sample, the end product will also come out so much better. And you also will get greater credits. As I look at every fleece, and as every fleece that you have on your table, don't be so critical as if this was a fleece show. You should just kind of pan over your fleece, and certain items that aren't as uniform should jump out at you. One thing that I think many breeders can identify is with hairy portions on your fleece. So even though this fleece isn't perfectly set out, we can identify different areas where that guard hair is sticking out, and that shouldn't be a part of your entry as your overall mid-blanket section of your fleece that you're entering into the co-op. Typically, on the outside edges of the fleece is where that hairy guard hair is, and we want to get that out of the fleece because that's not as uniform as the midsection of the fleece that's nice, fine, more uniform in its dimension of diameter. Those areas were typically probably this area along the belly where that guard hair is, or more towards the front area where they need that guard hair for protection. But we need to pull it out. Often I can put my hand down on a section of fleece and tear off the areas that have that guard hair excessive hairiness in. And I typically work from the outside edges in. Now this is much more easily done if you do it right after you shear. After shearing, your fleece has its natural integrity yet, and you can easily define and see, rather, where these guard hair areas are. If you bag it up, it gets tossed and turned, toppled all over, thrown in a pile, probably compressed a bit, and then you pull it out on the table months later, it's not as easily defined where those hairy areas are. Or also